Every single day, multiple times a day, Donald Trump is in front of a microphone or in front of a camera somewhere, doing interviews, calling into radio stations, calling into news stations, popping up on people's live streams, holding massive rallies, doing speeches, press conferences, fundraisers, you name it. And one thing I like about Trump is that none of this stuff is scripted. He kind of just goes out there and says what he wants to say. Now, of course, his enemies use this against him all the time. So sometimes this does work against him. But you can go check out all of his rallies. He has one damn near every day, it seems like. And each one is different. Don't get me wrong. He will touch on some of the same talking points. Of course he does, because he has policies and plans. But every event, it's different. Because every event, he comes out there, says what he feels like saying. He shoots from the hip, and it's off script. And there's not many politicians out there like that. In fact, Kamala Harris is not like that at all. And I brought proof. Go ahead and check it out.
It's good to be back in Wisconsin. It is so good to be back in Michigan. Listen, let me tell you, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I took on perpetrators of all kinds and had a summer job at McDonald's. I had a summer job at McDonald's. So hear me when I say, so hear me, Detroit, when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. I know Donald Trump's type. And are we ready to fight for it? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win.
So you see, Kamala Harris has been out there on the campaign trail, I guess if that's what you want to call it. And at each of these events that she's doing, some of these events are on the same day, she's going out there saying the exact same thing. Every event, for the most part, is the exact same scripted event, down to the people interrupting her, protesting the war over there in Israel. All of it is scripted. It's all happening the exact same way. She comes out there, she doesn't touch on the same talking points. She just literally says the exact same thing at every event. And for the most part, there's not much to what she's saying at all. Meanwhile, every day, Trump is somewhere, doing something, talking to someone, and it's always different. It's always different because Trump is using his actual words, saying how he actually feels, whereas Kamala Harris is using someone else's words, basically being a puppet, okay? As Geppetto pulls the strings. And you might not know who the puppet master is, but I can assure you, you know who the puppet is. And it's Kamala Harris. And that's why she can't come out there off script, because she can't show you who she truly is. And to be honest, I don't think she even knows what she actually thinks she's gotten here by basically talking in circles, laughing, and blowing people. And I mean that, literally, sorry, but I just gotta be honest. She kind of made her way to the top in a very interesting way that we can't even really talk about here on YouTube, because it's adult content, okay? It's adult content. But the way I look at things is we live in a big world filled with many people. And of course, every person is going to have something that you don't like about them. So one thing I've grown to appreciate is I appreciate people who say how they feel, even if I don't like what they say. I appreciate people who show who they are and are not afraid to be themselves, even if I don't necessarily like the person who they are. I like real as opposed to fake, okay? I don't want you to sugarcoat things for me. I don't want you to feel like you have to walk on eggshells when talking to me. I don't want to hear, you tell me what you think I want to hear. I want you to just tell me how you feel. I want you to just tell me what's on your mind, not what was on someone else's mind that wrote down a script for you to read to us. I want to know what's on your mind. And when it comes to Donald Trump, like him or hate him, I think we all can agree that he says what's on his mind. He shows you who he is, and for the most part, you know what you're going to get with him. Whereas when you have people like Joe Biden, and when you have people like Kamala Harris, they're unpredictable because they sway with the wind. They'll do whatever they think is necessary to remain in power, and they're not the ones really making the decisions and calling the shots regardless. But I already showed you the proof of what's happening here, and we're going to see much more of this. But for now, I want to see much more of you down in my comment section. Go down there, let me know how you feel. Don't be afraid. Hit that like button as well. We got to get the likes up on these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you find yourself getting too worked up by all of this, just remember, it's all just political cinema.